Where are you right now? Another question is, where would you rather be? Today's what if question is, what if you could teleport anywhere? What what does that even mean? Well, imagine this. You're in a warehouse. It's big and empty, except for a humming metal doorway in the middle of the room. As you walk up to it, you notice the space inside the doorway shimmers like light bouncing off water. You walk through it, and your shoe steps into sand? Looking around, you realize the doorway brought you to a beach. You just teleported from point A to point B way faster than travel would have taken you in a car, plane, bullet train, or any other means of transportation known to humanity. Well, are teleportation machines possible? If you had one, how would you use it? Well, teleportation is possible today. Now, listen to that again. Teleportation is possible today if you're a photon or atom. You see, through complicated setups, physicists entangle particles to transfer the identity of one particle to another. Imagine if all you had to do to teleport was change your identity with someone else across the globe. So it's a very different question, right? What if you could teleport anywhere, but in order to do so, you'd be slightly different person where you ended up than where you left? It's a little tricky. Well, if we could teleport people or things across the world or even across the universe, how would society change? Maybe take this question beyond you and let's look at the bigger picture. So we start with what if you could teleport anywhere, but then let's consider what if everyone and everything could teleport anywhere. Right now, for example, America is largely a car-based society. We probably wouldn't need all of those cars if we were just instantly popping in and out of places. Well, what about war? It's not just transportation about teleportation, right? We'd certainly have an easier time sneaking up on people, but we'd also be caught by surprise all the time too if we could teleport for war. Would we be less violent if everyone could just appear and disappear? And what about buildings? If we didn't have to walk through doorways, could we have huge buildings of closed spaces we just pop into? So we have these questions of how things would change, from everything from transportation to war to architecture. I'm curious, what other things in our lives, either our personal individual lives or the lives in our environment and our society, what else do you think would change if everyone could just teleport everywhere? Maybe we don't have cars and we don't have doors anymore, but what else would we not have anymore? What else might we have more of? So an activity that you can do, it's called a one-way trip to anywhere. And as much as an activity, it's almost like a mental challenge or exercise. So the universe is a big place with many places to travel. It's easy to ask, well, where would you travel to? Here's a harder question to consider. If you had a transporter that could take you anywhere in the universe, but you could never come back home, where would you go? What would you need to find to be comfortable never coming back? Think about this and be really curious to see if you want to really push your thinking and understanding of this. Don't just think about it, but write it down. Maybe you write a letter to a friend or a family member explaining to them, first of all, where you're going to teleport, explain to them why, and you're gonna have to break it to them that you're never coming back, right? But I'd be really curious to hear where you would teleport if you could go anywhere in the universe, even if it meant you could never come back. Thanks again for getting curious today. As always, keep healthy and stay curious.